Hi everybody, it is Tuesday, our very first online class of So Crazy, featuring our traditional sampler block adventure. Can't believe I got that right. I did it. Okay. Whew. All right, we're over that hurdle. So what I want to do is I want to start. I know we've got a lot of new people. We've got our seasoned people. And so I want to be able to make sure that everyone is set and ready to go. I am thrilled for everyone's enthusiasm this past week, getting ready, the messages that everyone was sending, and the people coming in to get all the product. My gracious, you guys are like raring to go. So let's not waste any more time and let's do this. As we know, we are going to be working on the rail fence block. And I sent that out to everybody on Facebook and let you see what the rail fence looks like. I do have it hanging at the front of the table. Isabel is helping me today with camera action. And so that is going to be our rail fence we were working on today. It's going to go pretty quick. It's very, very simple, but I needed to start with something simple for our new people, just to kind of get their feet wet. But it's a beautiful block that will make a great piece in the quilt when we're finished. So hopefully everyone is ready, has your pieces all ready. If you starched, I hope that you will like this method that I'm about to show you with the starching. If you did not and didn't want to starch and you want to do it. So I have my colors here that I have chosen, and everybody that had come in to get different fabrics, I can't wait to see these when they're finished. Let's just say that. You guys have some great, great pieces. And I wanted to be able to also show the proper way of being able to cut using the rulers, the Creative Grid rulers. And I know, again, here we go, we're talking mainly like to our newbies. But I want to be able to show and make sure that everybody knows what it is that they are doing when they are cutting. And sometimes maybe you can even show people that's been sewing for 50 years something new. I don't know. But just hang in there with me. So I am going to come over, as I did, I starched all of my fabrics. And I wanted to, I'm going to use this yellow piece because you can really see it a lot better. And the Creative Grid ruler, it has all of the different markings. This particular ruler is one that I did suggest. It is 6.5 inches by 24 inches. And what is nice about this is when you go to do your cut and you have your big ruler, you just lay that down with your fabrics folded in half and one big swoop, and there you go. It's cut, and you're not having to move them up and down and all around. So when you are doing the 2.5, our measurements for this block is 2.5 by 6.5. And we want to make sure, what we're going to, it's just one cut, and you should be able to get that, the pieces that you need. You're going to need 4 pieces because there's 4 different blocks that will all go together as one big block. So we are going to look at the markings on our ruler, and if you can see that, I think Isabel's trying to zoom in there, and you see that this has a 1/2 inch mark. If you can tell, it's a 1/2 inch mark, and I always set my ruler, I'm right-handed, so I will line the 2, count over 2, and I will line this line up against the line of my fabric. And it's best to always measure by your ruler, not necessarily your grid, because you have a truer 1-inch block from your ruler than you actually do from your mat. A lot of people don't know that. So I always line mine up right, my line is right up against here, and I'm so sorry because Isabel is trying her best to try to zoom that in, and I'm trying my best without walking around. And everybody, please be patient with us. This is our very first go around, and we are trying our best. So, but if you can you see that, Isabel? So you see how that's lined right up against that 2-inch line, and that's measuring for my 2.5 inches. So I just lie this down and make sure that it is completely straight, and then I'm lining my edge down here to this edge at the top. Can you see that? Top, bottom. And then I line up to make sure that that is all even, and then I'm able to take and to just give it one big cut, okay? When we get that cut, then let's just pretend right now that this is that cut that I just did, and it's just one piece. That is where my ruler, that is the 6 by 12, that comes into play. Because then I can take the smaller without trying to tug this great big one around back and forth. Take the smaller one, and then I take and I line that up to my 6.5 inch right here. So I'm going to just measure this to the edge of 6.5, and then be able to just cut. And then I'll move that over again to the 6.5 and cut, and then 6.5 and cut one more time. So that should give me like 6 pieces. And when you're finished, your pieces are going to be 2.5 by 6.5, okay? Again, I said we have 4 of each one of those. And so now I'm going to step on over here, and I'm going to take you all through a series of the Viking machines each week that we do the classes. And the machine that we're working on today is the Sapphire 930. My goal is I want to show everybody that you don't need an Epic 2 to be able to make a quilt. That you can do it from the E10 all the way to the Epic 2. And I chose the Sapphire 930 because this is on sale with the $500 trade-in for your current machine that you have. And if you're looking for a new machine, you may want to come in and give this one a whirl. These are some that Viking does have in stock at the moment. We are running pretty slim pickings due to all the mask making. So they're out of machines everywhere. And I am able to get the 930 in stock if anyone is interested in that. But what I'm going to do, I am going to show you, I've already put together a few pieces so that I can show you quickly. But the first one, you're going to have to decide, first of all, the three colors that you're going to want in this quilt. And then you're going to decide where you want to place those 3 colors. And all 4 blocks are going to be in that same format. So all 4 of my blocks are going to be with my flower piece, my red piece, and then my yellow piece. Okay? So when we get ready to do our stitching, we have, like I said, our newbies. They may want to use pins to make sure that there's no movement in their pieces. And when you are constructing your block, you want to make sure that you're putting 2 right side pieces together. Okay? So here I've got my flower and I've got my pink, and when I get it together and open it up, it's going to be just like that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put a flower piece and we're going to put the pink piece together, and I'm going to bring it to the machine. And you want to stitch a 1/4 inch the 1/4 inch is very important when it comes to quilting, and you want to make sure that it is a precise 1/4 inch. We have a 1/4 inch foot, and that is usually what we use on our projects, which I just looked down and saw that I do not have a 1/4 inch foot. I moved everything in here, and I have been working on the Brilliance 80 machine, and my foot is over on the Brilliance 80. So Isabel, can you run over and grab that real quick? And as I take this foot off, I'm very sorry about that. So it's just one of those, foo-foo things, right? But when we do, so I went through and I went ahead and I pinned these pieces here. And when I pin, I always start in the center and make sure that that is pinned first, and then I move to the outer edges. That way I know that that center part is done, and then the other pieces aren't going to be all loosey-goosey in there. And then just make sure that when you are getting ready to sew, that you are removing those pins when you come to them, so you don't run over them. Otherwise, you'll be giving us a little ringy-ding and saying, Tim, I just kind of messed up my machine. And here's Isabel. Thank you so much, Isabel. All right. And here I have the, this is our Vikings 1/4 inch piecing foot, okay? And if anyone is in need of that, and I'm going to explain real quick the reason why. So what I had on was the A foot, and I'm not sure if you're really going to be able to see this very well, because we're on a tripod and we're trying to get the feel of this whole camera thing. So if we put these two together, and I'm trying real hard here. Can you see that as well?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. So the A foot here, if you notice, it has the long opening for the foot. This would be what you would want to use for like zigzags, decorative stitching, and you can use it for piecing also. But you do a much better job with piecing if you use the piecing foot, because if you see, it just has just a little hole. And piecing, you are always going to straight stitch. And this just helps so that when you are doing your piecing and you're getting to those corner pieces and trying to start out, and then if you notice that your fabric gets kind of sucked down into your stitch plate, it helps if you just have your piecing foot and a piecing stitch plate. If you do not have a stitching piece plate, I'm not going to say a stitching plate with the piecing foot. That's a lot to say. I mean, it's okay. It's just that this just helps. It just helps things along. But what really helps is when you are doing the starching, and I'm hoping that everyone that did do the starching, and you haven't done that before, and at least the way that I have explained to do it, I'm hoping that you will see this and you will like it and go with it every time that you are doing any type of quilting, because it does make a tremendous, tremendous difference. Whereas if you're trying to stitch a regular piece of fabric and it's kind of flimsy in there, you will have more chances of getting that sucked down into that stitch plate rather than having the piece that acts like a piece of paper that you're trying to stitch. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put that piecing foot on the machine, and I do have it threaded, so hallelujah for that. And I am going to go ahead and follow my area for my 1/4 inch. And like I said, when you get to the pins, you want to make sure that you are pulling those pins out. Okay. And again, you're following that 1/4 inch. Very important. You want to make sure that you're staying with that 1/4 inch. And when I get to the end, this machine actually has the thread cutter